Hey everyone, it is Kai, and this weekend we didn't have any Springfest tournaments, so we had a bit of a chill weekend, right? We didn't have to worry about results or anything like that, but this gives us a little bit of time to kind of do a mid-season analysis on what the haps are, right? What's been winning, and what should we look for going into the future, because I guess going into like next week onwards, we're kind of going into like the second half of Springfest, and that's pretty important because also Lyrical Monastery 2 just got released on like Friday, so that should give us a slight change in at least the standard format. So it will be quite interesting to see how that evolves from there. But I still have some results from before and kind of discuss the trends that we are seeing and maybe what you should be afraid about. So here you can see on my right, or just on the screen, there is a spreadsheet that I've kind of been using to track some of the results at like a very high level. I've basically been recording like the top 4 of each tournament. Now, I didn't record all the way to top 8 because it's just hard to get all the results. That's the reality of it. We can get the top 4 from Europe, but it's hard to get like the top 8 from Europe because they don't even cut the top 8 there. But then in like America, they do cut the top 8, but we don't get all the decks. So it's just very, very annoying. I've basically only just been doing the top cut, like the top 4 cuts, and that's usually what gets shown on the Bushiroad sites anyways. So in terms of analysis, this will be like very, very high level. It won't be like, oh, I've checked every single deck at the tournament, I've compared like all the conversion ratios. No, it won't be like that. We're just going to use our brain a little bit and just kind of see what is popular. Now, because I've recorded the top 4 results, this is what I use for like those maps, those nation domination charts and all that. We'll be returning soon. But basically, any deck that was in the first place team gets 4 points. Anything in the second place team gets 3 points. Then third is 2, and then fourth is 1. So if you see like a point score of like 10 for a tournament, that means every single team in the top 4 took that deck. And we kind of look at it, right? Overall, I have like the decks breakdown at the bottom and then the nation breakdowns at the top. That's more for fun. But we can see that Brandgate overall, across all the regions, has been very, very popular. Sometimes even more popular than taking Stoicheia, right? Now, Stoicheia should be the one deck that every tournament team is bringing, right? Because you want to bring that Magnolia slot. And it's generally been quite high, right? If you look at Europe, right? Basically, probably like three teams, sometimes maybe 2, and like Portugal took it. Just from actually this will be 3, right? Or 4, 3. Yeah. At least like 3 teams or something took it, and then in America not so much. No, in America is the same thing as well. America, 10. This one's a 5 and a 6. I mean, it's still quite a high number. But yeah, again, I want to just point out the Brandgate because we both have Seraphs and Gravidias being a thing, right? They both in a thing. Like look at Rosebond. It's like 14. So every single team took a Seraph, basically, and then like one or two teams took Gravidia in that. Fuzzy Paradox has the nice looking pie charts, to go check him out. If you haven't followed him yet, go follow him. You will find cool results, which I normally get the info from as well. But basically, on a high level, it's basically a Stoicheia and Brandgate world, right? In Georgia, there was like 12 dark states, so like lots of Baromagnas, lots of Bruce. It's actually quite surprising, right? Sometimes there's like not that many Baromagnas, sometimes there's a lot. Bruce sometimes popping up. So overall, I think the only like stable things that we can really garner from this is Stoicheia and Gravidia Seraph, basically a lot. The rest kind of pops up once in a while, but that's kind of it, right? And then now going into Lyrical Monastery 2, the deck to look out for is Kyrie, and we can definitely like we should be seeing Kyrie pop up, right? Kyrie is definitely a strong deck, and I think from now on, like it might not just be something like a Magnolia and 2 Brandgate. It might be something like Stoicheia. Then you have a choice between you take Gravidia or Seraph, and then something like a Kyrie. Because I definitely think Kyrie is quite strong. It's definitely popped up quite a few times in Japan as well. And Japan did have the kind of shift from no Lyrical Monastery 2 in the beginning to with Lyrical Monastery 2 later on. And there was definitely lots of teams taking that Lyrical Monastery pick into the second season. And then that's, I guess, like in the second season of Springfest as well, We also have other regions popping in. Right now, it's just been EU versus NA, right? It's that old school kind of rivalry. But going to the second season, we will have SEA joining the fray as well. And I think it'll be interesting to see what they try to bring. Are they going to be more meta dog than everyone else? You know, bring the meta decks, right? Or is it going to be like just bring whatever you want? You know, I think it'll be quite interesting, especially for standard, where it is possible to bring a lot of whatever you want, because past that Magnolia pick, I think there is just a lot of picks that you can take going into for your other team members. It really depends if you like the Brandgate picks, or you just want to go, okay, I like Brandgate, I like the Bruces, they still work, it'll bring me wins. And then you see there's even Nirvanas as well. So I think it's quite open. I think it's just quite open, and I think it'll be very interesting to see. Speaking on what is not as open, I think we're looking at V Premium, right? V Premium. Look at this Bermuda turnout, right? Megalonica basically winning every single week, right? But, you know, the Megalonica turnout is actually insane. I think, though, we can't really talk much about, like, the European results, because, again, right, it's not really the deck that you need to beat in Europe. It's more like Solemn's team, like Team Cardiff, that you need to beat. So, yeah, Mo, Solom, and Jay, they've been doing pretty well, right? They've been doing pretty well. So, yeah, these numbers, a lot of them is basically Team Cardiff coming forth. Although they did not play in Portugal and France, right? They did not play in Portugal and France. And I guess, wow, you know, the Bermuda Triangle didn't pop up as much, right? But, you know, the other pick that's been really, really strong is Grand Blue 2. So, yeah, there is that. But look at some of what else people are bringing. Genesis, a great pick. Everyone is definitely bringing at least one Genesis most of the time, right? But Shadow Paladin also being a surprise favorite with, like, Raging Form, like people trying to figure out that third deck, and Raging Form is definitely there. It's quite surprising because we had Gurgit in the beginning of the season as well, but it also didn't really pick up until something like France, when we started seeing like multiple Gurgits, and then in Georgia, bam, huge amount of Gurgits. It'll be interesting to see if that continues, right? It'll be interesting to see if that continues, or are people's, you know, gonna go back to the old reliables, you know, Grand Blue, Bermuda, and then maybe others, right? Maybe others. It'll be interesting, more interesting to see, right? And you know, we still got the other regions to look at when they get the tournaments going, and maybe they're bringing something totally different. But yeah, right now, I think there is definitely just, obviously, Bermuda quite popular, Grand Blue quite popular, Genesis quite popular, Gold Paladin rising up in popularity. There's been a few Jewel Knights tops as well, mostly in America. There was one, I think JJ's team took it in France, and that won. So that's been quite surprising. That was like the third. It seems like trying to fight for a third pick as well. I personally don't think Jewel Knight is like the best pick. There's definitely some better picks out there, but maybe it's just a good kind of like, how do you say it, a comfort pick for a lot of players, and that is that. Now moving on to premium, right? Premium, I don't know what to think about premium, right? It's a bit weird. Like, again, Europe, not much to say. It's not the decks, it's just Solemn's team that's won every single one in Germany, Belgium, and France, right? So, I don't know. You guys should be working at how to beat Solemn rather than I don't know. You have to play the meta, right? You have to play the meta, and right now the meta is like Solemn's team. But in saying so, that does inflate like some of these numbers, I think. Like, you see, like they brought Genesis, they brought Pale Moon, and they brought Mega Colony. So those numbers definitely are showing up quite big time. But then if you look at a lot of the American results, it's just been everything. Like, literally everything has been popping up. It's been really weird. You know, it's been really weird. I think another interesting thing that's kind of popped up a lot in like the US side is the Jewel Knights, you know, the Royal Paladins as well, making it in premium. It's quite interesting because I personally did expect a lot more plays to bring Pale Moon, but it looks like America not every team wants to bring it. And if you look at Georgia results, like no one brought it there. No one brought it. So it's quite surprising. I think everyone's trying to beat Mega Colony, right? Everyone's trying to figure out good matchups against Mega Colony. And that's why I think if you look at some of the results, there was a Nova Grapplers that did pretty well in Georgia, and their entire idea was just the Mega Colony matchup. And then Jewel Knights technically does have a pretty good matchup against like Ghidorah, because you just do your thing and they Ghidorah you and nothing happens. Oh, you can't G-Guard. Doesn't matter. My G-Guards suck anyway, so I'm just gonna restand and kill you, and you're just gonna cry, right? So yeah, I think that's quite interesting that the Jewel Knight pop up. Also, there was some Dimension Police as well in the US, so that was interesting. That was quite interesting. Again, I think just trying to counter the matchup against Mega Colony, and also even like Link. Basically, everything's been popping up in the US. You know, if you're trying to prepare for the US meta, you basically have to prepare against the whole field. There's nothing really trending. And unfortunately, like Premium and V Premium isn't going to change much. It's just going to be whatever people bring, and a lot of like the local metas. I guess with SCA, it'll be a lot more about the local metas. Like, what do you expect coming in from your own country? Because it's currently still a bit hard to kind of travel, as well as SCA has a lot of their tournaments on the same day. So you'll have like one in Singapore on the same day as the one in like, I think like Malaysia and then Indonesia. So that's all happening on the same day. So there will be less chances of travel. But if you're going in the States, right, you're traveling domestically, you can have a good road trip, and there will be a lot of players there. So I think that's something you have to consider. In EU, there'll be less players, but you'll know a lot of the players that are going, because a lot of them are just well-known players, and you'll have to prepare for that. So a lot of different ways to prepare. But overall, yeah, Premium's still like kind of weird. I have to say it's like a really metagame at the moment. And lots of unexpected stuff coming. You could say it's very diverse. But I just feel like a lot of people are just bringing whatever they just want to bring, especially like their third picks. They might know, okay, I want to play a Mega Colony on my team, but the other two guys, they can play whatever, right? They can play their favorite picks because it's teams, and hope for the best. Hope they don't counter. Standard, we're definitely going to see some changes with Kyrie entering the field, and then V Premium. I don't know. V Premium, we have a plethora of strong decks, but everyone is just kind of vibing and trying to vibe for just like the top 3 slots. So I think, again, V Premium is not going to change much in terms of card pool, but like maybe some good promo gets released, that'll really change it. But I think, yeah, it will come down to your regional. For premiums, for the 2 premiums, will come down to the regional level. But the standard one, I think you can start to predict maybe what are the things you need to watch out for, right? So, all in all, let me know what you guys think, right? What you guys do in the break? Not having to worry about tournaments. Are you prepared? Can you wait? Are you having fun? Are you going to enjoy Season 2 of Springfest coming soon? Where we have the new region popping in called Southeast Asia. Yeah, that's it. All right. See you guys next time. Bye.